Welcome, Jafar, to the stream. Yeah, I've been busy, bro. Sorry about that. Bitcoin had a nice move. Fibonacci time had hit, and we got a nice move from Bitcoin. But on the other hand, we need to see how high will it go, how far will it go, how high. The targets I had given targets before, but as you see, when Bitcoin hit those targets, it kind of had a pullback, but it was too strong and it broke through them. At the moment, it seems Bitcoin still has a bit more steam to the upside. We're trying to break the 24K region. If we are able to break the 24,200 or even the 24,288, which was last week's high, then that will show Bitcoin has more strength to the upside. And if we do, then we have further targets ahead. I think if Bitcoin can break the 24,200, then we have a big gap up till at least the 26 to 28K range. Now we could see that if we look at our VPVR, if we look at it on the daily, I believe this is on the 4-hourly, it doesn't give much data, but if you go on the daily, you will notice that actually the weekly I think I prefer because we have a bit more data. Look at that. On the weekly, at the moment between here until the 28,982, there is a gap. And if you look at our drop down, when Bitcoin dropped all the way down, we barely had any consolidation. This is on the daily. We didn't have much consolidation when we started the drop. It was just a straight drop down. So like how fast it dropped down, we could be pumping up at the same way. The only difference now is that we have so many resistance levels along the way. So if we take a measurement of how long did this drop take us to get down there to the final drop, it took us 11 days. And if we're considering that we started our pump down here, we've been doing this for 16 days and we haven't. But if we are saying that we just started our pump here, then that's just 3 days and we can go for another 8 days up. 8 days up would put us into August. I told you about the fib time. It was coming, but of course, with fib time, you can never tell whether we're going up or we're going down. You can just know that volatility is incoming. And yeah, we got the volatility. We got a 7 or 8% move to the upside. I had a short. I entered a short when we reached at 24K. I got in a bit later at 23.9, but I got stopped out with a small loss. But that's the game of trading. So you win some, you lose some. You try to cut your losses as fast as you can and just preserve capital for the next entry. At the moment, I'm not in any trades except the old ones that I had, which I opened a long time ago, up at 40K, and I'm still in them and waiting to see how low will we go. If we keep going up, then I have my stops in profit, and that's what will be happening. DXY on the other hand, DXY is tanking. Is really, if you look at the chart now on the 4-hourly, we don't have much support over here. We could go as low as 105.005. I mentioned this way back, and if DXY continues lower, then that would be very good for Bitcoin. We could get a bounce from here. If we do get a bounce from here, then I could consider this as a parallel channel, and we might be going back up to retest the highs again. But at the moment, DXY is lost the middle of the channel, and if you look at let's look at this pump of the DXY. How far did we go? If we use a trend-based fib from the bottom to the peak of this pump, how low did we go? 0.382, barely 0.5. I think over here now we had a deeper retracement. I think up to the 0.5 or even 0.618 is acceptable, but I think that it depends where we count this. From here to the peak 109, then we've exceeded the 0.5 and we're going to the 0.618, which is a very important level. We'll get a bounce over there, but if we take it from a bit higher over here and go to the peak again, then we're already at the 0.618 and we should be seeing a bounce pretty soon from the DXY. It's wicking that level, it's getting some interest, but you can never know. Bitcoin is the dominant coin, and if it moves, everything else moves. However, Ethereum was moving nicer than Bitcoin. Look at that. It bounced off January 2021. It says 2020, but it's 2021 range value area high, and look at that move by Ethereum. Much better than Bitcoin. Solana has a beautiful V-shaped recovery. It still didn't go take those highs. Ethereum is a different chart. Look, we exceeded those highs, previous week highs. We're above them, so we kind of confirmed this level as a new support, the 1650 to 1620 range. And at the moment we're above that level of resistance that I had, the 1720, and I feel that Ethereum will soon see the 1811, and if we break 1811, then 2000 to 2200 is not that far away. Let's put on the VPVR on Ethereum and see if we have a lot of volume here. Let's go on the weekly like how we did for Bitcoin and see where do we stand with Ethereum. Ethereum still has a level of resistance over here. I believe this is a line that I drew, a point of interest. Maybe it was this week's resistance. So we have resistance at 1811, a weekly resistance point. But if we break above it, we still have a lot of resistance. Look at those volume peaks over here. These are resistance. They will be resistance when the time comes. On the other hand, Solana, does it have the VPVR? Doesn't show on Solana for some reason. Let's look at Bitcoin B Binance USD. Let's look at that. VPVR on Binance USD, Bitcoin Binance USD. It's also not appearing for some reason. Bitcoin dominance, do we have a gap? Any new gaps? Did we gap down? Did we gap up? I don't think so in this week we did. No, we haven't. Dow Jones, we broke that level of retracement, the 0.618, we're above it. It was from this peak to the low and we broke it, so that's bullish for the Dow Jones. But the day started off red today and we started below the previous day's close. But if the Dow Jones continues and if this move down was just a correction, then essentially this was a W, this was an X, and this was a Y, and the Y you had, or was it an A, a 3 wave in A, and then a B and a 5 wave in C, and it's done and we're coming out of here? I doubt it. I mean, what bullishness is there? I mean, you can trade it either way. Even if there is no bullish news, even if it's a bear market, you're going to have bear rallies, and some of the most highest percentage of rallies were in the bear markets. Google it and you'll see some of the strongest percentage-wise bear rallies were, bear rallies were very strong, obviously in the bear markets. I mean, you can make mad gains in bear rallies. They could be so crazy, especially if you're trading those low cap coins, Shiba, Doge. The dollar index, look at that. It looks like it's going to tank. I think the dollar is coming to test the 105.005. And if the dollar does that, it will be going to July 1st lows. Bitcoin was down here. That was the high for the dollar at that time. Bitcoin was down. The dollar was up at 105 and Bitcoin was down at that time. When the dollar was dropping here in 2002, it dropped very sharply after that. But I'm not sure if that will happen. If it does, then we still have the 104 point somewhere here, 104.5, around this range, where we had some good consolidation at this range. So it's a good support. But Bitcoin has confirmed two things for itself. We confirmed that the 20,500 region is our new support, or a strong support, even if we get there, which it doesn't look like will be coming down any soon. We have this block. You could see around the 23 to 22.9. We have 22,555. On one of the charts that I have, 22,555 is a strong level of support. That's 22,961, 22,555, this level. And you can see 22,5, 22,9 is a strong level of support. Even if we come down there on the hourly, I believe we'll be just going down to the 50 EMA. So if we go down there, we'll just be getting to the 50 EMA again and retesting it. The 200 and the 800 EMA have crossed each other, and eventually they're going to come up, and the 50 will come up, and everything will be pointing up. That will be very bullish. But I won't be fooled so sudden just by looking at this. I'll remove all the drawings. Because on the hourly we've done it. Look at that. 200 and 800 crossed and Bitcoin was up, and all of a sudden we had a sharp decline, and we went down to 20,800 from 24,286, which we were very close to today. We got to 24,000 and 198 on some charts on the Bybit. On Binance it's a bit different. So in my opinion, for myself, not financial advice, you can do what you want to do, but I'm not going long on Bitcoin for now. I need to see a good retrace, then a confirmation of a support, and possibly continuation. This is not a place to go long. This is what happens when you go long. All these wicks, you go long, the market pulls back, you get stopped out. You go long, the market declines back down, you get stopped out. People go long over here, so I wouldn't go long. But the way Bitcoin is looking, I'm not going long, but the way Bitcoin is looking, we're forming something out here other than what people would call a bull flag. This is a bull flag, and we may break out. The measurement is the length of the pole. This was a bull flag. The measurement was the length of the pole that could take us, I believe, if we measure that, could take us up to 27,000. We can add another 3,000, 26,600 possibly. Another thing to look at, what Bitcoin is forming right now, is an Adam and Eve. An Adam and Eve is a bullish chart pattern, and you measure from the top, from the neckline here, to the bottom of the cup, and you take that and you put it at the possible breakout point, and roughly it gives you around 24,500. So 24.5 is very doable for Bitcoin in one day. I mean, the average daily range for Bitcoin today could be $1,800 in either direction, so it's easy for Bitcoin to move that much. It's Friday. Friday is the last day of the trading week for the big institution, and they're the ones who bring the volatility into the market. On the weekends we get crazy movement, but it's not mainly by institutions. But Friday is a day for institutions to go on the weekend, the last day of trading week. Probably they have some targets every Friday. They want to make profits, so they're gonna do something today. They could take us all the way down. On the way we'll have some important support levels, but they could take us all the way down. And if they do that, then we know that this was possibly a false move. I mean, if we go back down then. But another thing they could do, there's still so many people in shorts from way up here, from 30K, that maybe didn't take profit. Some people were short from here, and they went all the way here. They went so much profit, but Bitcoin came back to where we were. So never think that the price of Bitcoin can't go back to where you were. If you're in a trade and you're in profit, you should at least take some profit out. You decide how much you're going to take out. Are you going to take out 25%, 50% of the profit and move your stops into profits or into break even? That's up to you. Well, what I do is I usually swing trade. I rarely scalp. But if I'm a swing trader, I would take profits at certain key notable areas. So if I'm in a short from here, I would be making profit all this way. But I would have some targets, possibly Fibonacci targets, as a retracement. It's a good strategy to use. If you say from the bottom right here to the peak right here, I say, okay, I know at 0.382 we might get a bounce. I know at the 0.5, see the 0.382, you bounced. 0.5, we may get a rebound. 0.618, look at that. It's so important. I think 0.618 is an important level to consider taking profits and moving your stops. Take profits, move my stops down here, just above this support area, just in case we bounce and get rejected. If we bounce higher than this, then I know that we're moving up. If we come up in here, if Bitcoin goes up here and I get rejected because of this order block, then I'm safe. I'm still in a short. But if it starts moving higher, then I know I secured maximum profits and let it go higher, and I'll enter a short at another point. On the 15-minute chart, Bitcoin is very stagnant. It just looks like this. It's just doing what it was doing over here. This is a correction wave, most probably. Like how this was a corrective wave and we're moving up. But I know some Elliotticians are saying that this wave 5 is down, possibly over here. And this whole move up could be counted as a big... Let me go to the 4-hourly. This whole move up. This whole move up is a wave 1. And we're having... Actually, no. This whole move up was... They're saying that wave 1 somehow is completed over here. And we're going to go down for a big corrective 2. I'm not sure how are they counting it, but they're saying that wave 5, let's see how it looks on the daily. Doesn't look the same. Hourly. I still can't see that, but somehow this whole move was a wave 1. This is how it goes. This is a wave 1. This is a 2. And this is a wave 3 up. But wave 3 can't be the shortest. That's the thing. So possibly wave 3 hasn't completed, but it's due for pullback. So if we say wave 3 maybe did a 1, 2, 1, it did a 1, 2, possibly a 1, 2, and a 3, and now we're coming back for a 4. That's also possible. That means we have a retrace down for 4, and Bitcoin at the moment is giving us a strong red candle, but I won't trust it unless we break below the 50 EMA, come back up, retest it, and continue down. Look at that. It gives us an indication that we're going down, and then it stops. So this is a 15-minute candle, and it's closing in 36 seconds. Let's see the next candle. What will it do? Will it continue lower or continue higher? If we start breaking down, then I might consider a short. At the moment, the EMAs, the 5 and the 13, are not even crossed bearishly. They're still in a bullish cross, curving down, but as you can see, they're moving up because the candle possibly is getting a reaction. On the other hand, in the 3-minute, we broke below the 50, but we're having a big wick. Look at that. Next candle is red, so that means we might have a move down. Let's see how it acts on the 3-minute. This is called the TDI indicator, TDI GM, and essentially when we're curving down, we broke down. You don't go long until the green band comes into the blue band and we have a shark fin, like here. It broke down, then we have a shark fin, and people go long after the green and the red cross above the yellow. They go long, and once it breaks, you can close your trade. Sometimes it works. This is on smaller time frames for scalping. So at the moment, we broke it, but we're still above our daily open and our EMAs, even on the smaller time frame, haven't crossed bearishly below the 50 EMA. If we look at the 1 minute, possibly they've crossed and they're getting rejected. See, we're having a candle might go up, might go back up. So just looking at the 1 minute, this is a pattern I was showing you, the Adam and Eve. And I was expecting we could come up and have a breakout over here, break yesterday's high and continue higher. So my take for this is that I have my targets, I have my levels. I won't get excited about any movement. We're having so much chop as we did over here. Weekend is incoming. I don't advise on trading on the weekend unless you're a pro trader or very good. You have to have very good risk management and position size. You have to decide on your position size and the risk you're willing to take. You don't want to get washed out on 1 or 2 trades and then you decide that's it, trading is not for me, it's not working for me. Manage your risk and decide where to go in. Don't get into marginal situations where you're in a trade in mid-air. Like for me, if I look at this now, if I take the trade right now, I say I'm going short, I'm in mid-air. First of all, I'm going short into a possible very strong support, daily open, we've been holding it. The 50 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, not even a big time frame. My TDI is moving down and my MACD is in a bearish cross, but despite the MACD being in a bearish cross, Bitcoin is still holding strong. So that's telling me something. See, now the MACD has a bullish cross, but it's curving down. Momentum is kind of slowing down. Trend exhaustion on Bitcoin, if you look at trend exhaustion on the 15-minute, the uptrend is getting exhausted for the time being on the 15-minute. Let's look at smaller time frame, 5-minute, same thing. 1 minute is not. So 3 minutes and half an hour shows me the downtrend is exhausted. So it depends what time frame you're trading in. On the 1 hour, which is an important time frame, tells me the uptrend is exhausted. Let's see, did we have exhaustion when we were here? We did. We had exhaustion at this point, but we still had a pump up. We had a small move down and we had a pump up. So exhaustion can be temporary and you continue higher. It's very possible. The difference is when we were here consolidating, not much of a difference. The MACD crossed down. The EMAs didn't cross on the 1 hour. They attempted and they bounced away. MACD crossed down, crossed back up, and now we're having that. MACD crossed down. Will we have the cross up and continue? On the 1 hour, our EMAs still didn't cross bearishly. Our MACDs are in a bearish cross. 15 minutes. Didn't cross. Our candle changed into a green candle. It was a red candle and now we're moving up. So if you took your trade on just a big red candle, look what happened. That's why I say don't FOMO. Make sure. Confirmation. Sometimes even confirmation doesn't work. Look at that. They crossed bearishly and we just held. Let's look how the candles looked over here. Cross bearishly. You had a small move up, down, spike up. So it's not ideal for trading. It's quite choppy for me. I don't advise on trading this range unless you have a clear range and you say I will trade it this way. That more than one way of trading it. You can trade it in the Keltner channel. Some people do that. They choose the Keltner channel, and depending on what time frame, I will sell at the top, take profit at the bottom, maybe buy at the bottom, sell at the top, and you go on a smaller time frame, so you keep doing it again and again and again. Look at that. So you sell at the top, come down. At the moment you're below the middle of the range. This is on the 5 minute. You may come down to 23,818 and then bounce off again. Another way of looking at the range, you need to have 3 touches. So can we have 3 touches in this range and make our parallel channel? We have one over here. The other one is below, so we don't really have 3 touches. We could draw our channel differently and make 3 touches from the top. We don't have a steady range, but you could still make a range. This was an overshoot, okay? It was a spike down. So say we have our range here from this this candle to these lows over here, 23,717 or 719, and we go up to this spike over here. You pull it here to the green candle that you took it from. There, you could say that's your range. If it hits up, I will trade it down. If it hits down, I will buy in. But Bitcoin had this is a standard what you call it, a standard pattern that Bitcoin does. We have this, then we come down, recover, and we could go up. You could see it even in smaller time frames. Doesn't fully recover, or sometimes it exceeds the recovery. Look at that. We had this square down, up. This square up, we fail. So sometimes it goes a long way, sometimes it fails. And if we go from where we dumped, let's compare how it looks, how we look right now compared to how we were in our last consolidation. We had sort of an AMP pattern. We had like 3 spikes. We had 1, 2, 3. At the moment we had 1, 2, and this was a third, and now we have a fourth. So you can compare micro charts into macro. So if I look at the 15-minute time frame at what Bitcoin now is doing, looks like the devil's castle, and it's about to break down. This, you see this was doing the same thing, and it looked like to me like it's about to repeat the pattern, but I got fooled. We repeat the pattern so many times. Look at them. They look like small castles, or people like to call them Bart Simpson's head. Look at that. We keep repeating those patterns. Pump, consolidation, dump. Dump, consolidation, pump. It just goes on and on and on. So now we're on a consolidation. Are we going to go up? Are we going to go down? How is our volume looking even on the smaller time frame? Okay, we had a spike, dead. Spike down, and then it went up. Look, that's a liquidity spike. Spikes down, takes liquidity, and continues higher. But look at the volume. Let's look at it on the hourly. How is the volume on the hourly? Let's look at the 4 hourly. I'll look at the daily. Volume has been decreasing this whole time. You get spikes, but if you look, we haven't got that volume that takes it out of here. I mean, if we look here, it's the same thing. When we started moving up, get spikes, smaller volume, spikes, smaller volume, spike down, then. And if we look at the The strange thing, this move up had a big volume divergence. Look at this to 69k. Volume was just going lower, lower as we moved higher. Once we started moving down, volume increased. As we moved higher, volume went lower. Once we started moving down, volume increased a bit. Till we got here, look at that. Volume increased significantly. Up till 17.5, and now we're moving up again. And volume is below our dump volume. I'm looking for the hit to the high. I really want that hit to the high. If we get it, I want the 24.3, 24.5. You need to understand the targets that I put on the stream or on my short videos. They're just targets. They're not guaranteed. It's not financial advice. It's just my opinion and what I see. And these fib levels don't have to hold. They don't have to hit. Even if they hit, they don't have to cause a reaction. They can be exceeded. They're not magical lines. You know what I mean? They can just, Bitcoin can just go through them and do nothing. Doesn't make a difference. This is a 15-minute. See, Bitcoin's having a green candle. It might turn red. Something's wrong with my chart. Let me leave and reopen again. Where are my fib channels? Over here I have different fib channels with higher targets. Around 26,590. But I'm looking at this because this has closer targets over here. My settings have changed. My display has changed. It's alright. These are my short-term targets if we get there, which I think we could get there. Today's Friday. We might have something. The FOMC rate hikes, the GDP. Well, the rate hike wasn't significant. It was less than what people were fearing. People expected 0.75 anyways this time, because last time it was a whole percentage rate hike. This time it was a 0.715. So I guess the market felt relieved and felt they're out of the woods. They tasted the 0.1 rate hike and now they're glad it's just 0.75, even though it's not that good. It's even worse. But if you look at the GDP also came out negative, and then look how the market pumped on a negative GDP. So some things don't make sense. Maybe some things are priced in, or the market is rallying now, expecting the rate hikes that are going to be coming out on 21st of September to be even worse than now. So they're rallying from now. The DXY, on the other hand, spiked the 0.618. We were looking, it was hitting the 0.618. Let's see what the next candle does. Will it break this low or will it also reverse? Ethereum is in a very juicy spot. I was looking at this level for a long time, 1,720. And we came above it. It's supposed to be strong resistance. Previous support turned into resistance, but Ethereum broke above it and seems it is holding support over here. Next target is 1,811 for Ethereum. If we break up, then I believe 2,000, 2,200 will be a target for Ethereum to the upside. The Dow Jones is down 50 points. Nasdaq is down 14 points. Usually if Nasdaq is down 2%, Bitcoin will double that. So Nasdaq is at the moment 0.11% down, but Bitcoin is up 0.34%. Maybe because Nasdaq is recovering. Yeah, Nasdaq is recovering a move from the move down. So it was more than 0.12. It was more than 12 points down, and now it's going back up, and it's at 12 points down. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, click the notification, share, put your comments. Thanks for watching. Liking the streams and comments really helps the channel. Helps YouTube put it out there, get it to more people, to get this free technical analysis. I know a lot of people that charge money for technical analysis or for targets to enter trades. I do it for free. Yeah, so like the stream if you haven't. Thanks for watching. More trades. I'm out.